Let's get it cracking. Waiting on everybody to pile on in. What's going on with y'all, man? Everybody pile on in the room, ladies and gentlemen. Glad to have everybody tuning in on this lovely evening. Chopping up game as we always do. If you are not following me, everybody needs to follow me here on Twitter. And then go to my YouTube channel, Tariq Radio, and follow that, ladies and gentlemen. And I hope everybody got their tickets for Microphone Check, coming to theaters nationwide in a few weeks. The most anticipated hip-hop film of the year. You do not want to miss it, microphonecheck.com. Another thing y'all need to do, speaking of films, if y'all want to see my other films and some other things, y'all need to go to fbastream.com. fbastream.com. What's up, Nikki? Hey, beloved. fbastream.com. I put up a new video on FBA Stream, the roast I did of the Step Stud. Hold on one second. The roast I did of the Step Stud. Hold on, people. I hate when people texting me when I'm live. But yeah, I did that roast I did that was of the extraterrestrial Step Stud. That got flagged from YouTube. I guess I roasted the Step Stud so bad it got flagged for bullying. Oh God, they took it down, so you won't see it on you. I really roasted that thing to a crisp. So they're like, no, nigga, that's too much. You're doing too much. I know it looks like a man, but it's a protected class, so you gotta chill out. So they took it down. They didn't give me no strike, but they took it down. But I put it up on FBA Stream. I had to put it up on FBA Stream. It's a classic roast. It's a very, very classic roast if you missed it. Because it was going viral. The numbers were getting up there, and yeah, they're like, you didn't have to do that. The YouTube algorithms was like, okay, nigga, you went in a little bit too hard on the person. So all right. Oh, then they're okay, Lord. The Step Stud is here. Okay. Should I oh no, I might as well. Let me get the person on here real quick. Hey, what's going on, Miss Nigga? Yo, what do you have to say?
Yeah, man, I thought that's surprising because Tariq, I didn't even watch it. I got
Yeah.
calls though. I got calls about it from a lot of family. It was like, "What the fuck? What the
Yeah.
fuck?"
I'm like, why did they?
Right?
It was all in
I
fun
don't
to
know.
me.
So I guess my people's. I got a lot. I told you. You know what I mean? Got a lot of people. Maybe they reported it. I don't know. Wasn't me
Uh,
though. Personally,
okay, but yeah, to
and I
me
didn't
it
even
was
put
all
out a call.
okay. Yeah, it was all in fun to me. And I'm just having fun. You were hitting me. I'm
I
hitting
guess
you
it's going
back.
to have to be that way.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
guess it's going to have to be that way, right?
Yes, indeed.
Right.
Yes, indeed. But
Okay.
I still got to watch my back. I don't want you to dildo whoop me, so I got to watch my back. I don't want to get hurt. Anyway, but thank you so much, Miss Tubman, Miss Malachi, Miss Malachi. There you
so
go.
can I? So can I?
Oh, okay. I'll get you back later. I got more things to talk about. But yeah, if y'all want to see that roast, go to fbastream.com. It's super duper petty. And it wasn't. It was all in fun. It was all in fun. Even though I said she looks like an extraterrestrial and she uses her ET finger as a dildo on women. I mean, it's a joke. It's jokes. God damn, people are so sensitive. It's all jokes, man. But man, we got. You know what? Let's get into the nitty gritty because we got a lot of stuff going on, man. Um, a lot of folks are talking about this tether that's been calling in to the live. Apia, something like that. What's that guy's name? Apia, something like that. He is called a few times. And folks are pulling out paperwork on boy, man. They're pulling out receipts on dude, saying that he's a certified Democratic op, saying that the dude is working with these Democratic little Pan-African organizations. He's working with them folks, allegedly. And they got people like that all in these circles. So that's why, and I keep telling people, a lot of these tethers that we see who are crowbarring themselves into our conversation, family, they're being sent. We got to understand these people are being sent to get into our conversations, man. I'm telling you guys, they have these Democratic think tanks and right wing think tanks. The Democratic think tanks are the worst. They're worse than the right wingers, man. Those Democratic think tanks, man, they have whole teams whose job is to just browbeat us, go in and disrupt conversations we're having, pose as like they're allies, but their job is to disrupt any conversation we have about any type of empowerment for black people, foundational black Americans in particular. So their job is to come in, and the minute we start talking about getting something tangible for us, notice all the musty tethers start popping up. And it happens like clockwork every election season. Now, some of them, I will give them credit. Some of them will even admit it, like the Haitian guy who calls all the time. I can't think of his name, but at least I give him a certain level of respect because at least he kind of admits that he's being sent by the Democrats. So I'm like, okay, let's just talk turkey. What did they tell you to tell us, nigga? Well, Biden is they want us to say that Biden is really doing good for the economy. So at least he owns up to it to a certain degree. And another dude who used to call, I blocked him on my Twitter. It was a dude named Mitch. We call him Mitch the Bitch. He was another tethered Democratic operative who would hop into our social media lives to spew Democratic talking points. Some of y'all remember Mitch the Bitch. Yeah, some of y'all, especially on Instagram, he would call in on Instagram with all of that Democratic trolling every time we talk about reparations, things for foundational Black Americans. They give them a set of talking points. The Democratic DNC heads, I'm telling you, when you hear these talking points, number one, y'all niggas sound like MAGA. All right, they're going to have about three main talking points. Y'all sound like MAGA. Y'all pimping the community. That's another trope. Y'all xenophobic. When y'all hear that, y'all MAGA, y'all undercover MAGA, y'all pimping the community, and y'all xenophobic. When you hear that, that's coming from a think tank. That's coming from one of these right wing think tanks, fam. And that Apia guy, whatever his name is, that vitriolic energy that he has towards foundational Black Americans, again, that's coming from the top. These people, it's coming from their paymasters. We got to understand, man, how deep these tethers have been in line with the oppressor class against us. We really, really have to understand that. Let me get average Black in here, average Black guy. We really got to understand that. Average Black, what's going on, brother?
How you doing, Tariq? Much appreciated. Yeah, we just had a space about the guy. He wouldn't come in, and nobody would come up to defend him either. We had a
Mm,
space about tether snakes, and nobody would come in. But I've seen him 4 or 5 times, drug him for filth, and he gets very disrespectful. Loves to talk about fathering, and unfortunately, this man's kids are in Africa. He's
mm,
admitted it himself. His kids are in a whole different hemisphere, and he's claimed to be in LA. I've offered to meet up with him and go to the local In and Out because he says he's in Calabasas, doesn't even know where it is.
mm,
And then you just reposted something of Sister Eddings, the clip of him admitting to who he is somewhat to Brother Mark Carter. But yeah, he comes in here. And by the way, the last thing I wanted to say to land my plane is this. So it seems like he might be a part of that whole new patriotic party of Ghana thing
mm.
that seemingly is connected to the Office of New America, and they have locations all across the country. So this is something we need to look out for because simultaneously they're setting up shop here while asking us to go there and being
Right.
linked up with this replacement effort. So I'll land my plane there.
Real, thank you so much, man. That's real heavy. Family, notice that these folks are always trying to push the Pan African thing on us. It's always, hey man, go to Mama Africa. You go to Africa, it's popping over there. Man, Mama Africa, go, man, Ghana, the year return. I mean, they keep always trying to sell the Wakanda thing to us. Even when we do the lives, we have these guys call up talking about how we need to go and invest in all this paper. And they try to get us to go over there so they can come over here and replace us. We're not buying the Wakanda game no more. They've been running the Pan African scam on us for 150 years. And I've always talked about this. I always go back to a dude, even before Garvey, dude named Chief Alfred Sam. That's a guy that a lot of folks don't know about. You have heard me speak on Chief Alfred Sam many, many times. This was a guy came from West Africa, came over here telling foundational Black Americans how popping it was in Africa. Oh man, you go to Africa when it rains, there's diamonds in the streets. Oh, ain't no racism. Oh, you go on over there, it's gonna be milk and honey. And black folks was like, well, shit, all right, that sounds good. It's better than this Jim Crow we dealing with. So there were some black people who start selling their stuff, and some of them went over there the first trip, and those damn tribal groups over there wouldn't let them get land. They were on some tribal ass nonsense, like they're doing now. They were real funny style about the land. There were no diamonds. There was none of this wealth and riches, nothing. So a lot of black folks had to come back home with their pockets empty. So that Wakanda scam that we just got to go to Africa and everything gonna be all right. That's been a con game that's been run on us for a long time, and we like, you know what? Nah, we ain't buying. We're good, because if it was so popping, y'all wouldn't be on inner tubes trying to float your asses over here. You understand? And another thing, I saw some stuff where people were just talking about recipes, and I was looking at a lot of West Africans on Twitter, some of their accounts, because they were talking about this is the thing, they keep bragging about their food. There's this new thing with them. Well, it's not even new. They've been doing this for a while, and I talked about this on my broadcast the other day. And no disrespect to some of my brothers and sisters who are from the diaspora, but there's some of them who, they like to brag about their food in West Africa and how much better it is than our food, which is all cap. No disrespect. They're sharing their ugusi soup recipes and their jollof, and you're sharing your little recipes. And yeah, yeah. Look, these akatas cannot do this. Okay. We don't want boiled bushmeat. That don't it, no, it just doesn't look enticing. It doesn't. But when I go through these accounts, man, these folks, we're so rent free. We don't interact with these folks. I look through their accounts, and we're not interacting with them. But every other word is akata. It's all about, oh, you cook like a nakata. Oh, the akata women, everything is akata this, akata that. We're just so damn rent free. I mean, y'all should just take a gander at some of these accounts, and all of them over here. By the way, that's another thing. These folks have these, they talking about their goosey soup and all of that, but they're over here talking trash. Let's get Kale in. Kale,
Hey Tariq, how you doing?
I'm good, family. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I wanted to talk to you because he was in actually my space yesterday morning. He
Okay.
was getting grilled, and we had to make sure. And people were like, "Get him off the stage!" But actually, I wanted the family to actually look and see COINTELPRO in real time, and
Yeah.
so we just started doing all of this recon, and I asked him certain questions like, "Hey, are you a politician from Ghana?" He says, "I love politics." And so he couldn't even answer any of the questions that we
Mm.
had for him. But I also wanted to give you a shout out because you remind us, you tell us, hey, they're out here and they're here to co-opt the movement.
Yeah,
And now that there's an example to show that this is happening, I'm so glad that actually this happened. So now we can get a little bit serious about the movement. I
yeah.
land. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, beloved. Yeah, man, we gotta, man, family. We really gotta circle our wagons, family. We gotta keep our eyes and ears open. They're sending these folks in our mix, and they're trying to act as our representatives, and they're hostile to us as foundational Black Americans when we're talking about empowering ourselves. Why would anybody be hostile to that unless they want to undermine that? We're not talking about harming anybody. We're not talking about taking nothing away from anybody. We're talking about getting a debt that's owed to us in a land that we built. And we get these hostile, musty Negroes popping in the mix, talking crazy all the time. You understand? And speaking of that, did y'all see y'all boy, Emmanuel Acho? They had some with the New York Post talking about what happens when a Black and a Jew comes together to talk about anti-Semitism. So they got some Jewish woman talking to Emmanuel Ocho like he's a damn representative of us. And a lot of us were highly offended for because of that. Emmanuel Ocho is number one. He doesn't consider himself Black. He's a Nigerian. He damn sure is not our representative. He's not our representative at all. A Black and a Jew. This dude, remember, he did an interview with Jimmy Kimmel. They were talking about how he learned how to be Black when he became an adult. He had to learn how to be Black. And notice a lot of those folks who come over here or who are anchored here, they say that they had to learn how to be Black. You understand? Then all of a sudden, these folks are sitting up here acting like they're our spokespersons. This dude, Acho, is a certified Sambo. This guy doesn't represent none of our views. He doesn't represent our culture. He doesn't speak for us. He doesn't know our culture. And a lot of these folks they use their melanin to tether. That's literally what a tether is. You use your melanin to tether onto our culture and then act as some kind of weird spokesperson who misrepresents us. Because a lot of folks, people felt a certain way about the article, but man, some of the stuff in the article, man, you got to read it. I'm reading some of this stuff and I'm livid. There was one part in there, let me find. It was one part in this article where he was talking as a representative of Black people, and they said some bullshit in there. Oh, no. Where is this? Where is this? I'm looking through it now. Hold on. The Jew is really born. He asked me about being Black. Hold on. I gotta find this one part. Come on, man. It's a long article. Okay, here it is. Here it is. So in the article, it says Acho told the Post he thought the greatest misconception about the Jewish people is the perception that they're all white. Quote, if Jewish people aren't white, then you can't be dancing for the man, he said, adding that he believes Jews get a lot of the benefits of being perceived as white in this country, which fuels some of the animosity from the Black community. The fuck is this nigga talking about? What is he talking about? We don't have any animosity towards them. We just look at white supremacy as an oppressive system, no matter who practices it. We don't have a special animosity towards Jewish people as Black people collectively. That's horse crap. We don't break up white supremacists. We don't break them up in little ethnic groups. In fact, we don't even know what a Jewish person looks like as opposed to an Anglo white person. We don't know. We can't tell. And it's impractical to break them up in little groups. The white supremacists call us up all the time trying to play the little hot potato game, and we don't go for it. That's a trick that they play to point to each other to blame each other for racism when both groups practice anti-black racism. So we don't go back and forth. We're looking at both of you as a potential oppressor class. So little stuff like that in the article misrepresenting us, that's the problem. That's why tethers cannot be our spokespersons. And that was the issue we were having during a lot of these early protests that we had a decade ago. In these protests around the country, we would go to these protests, turning up, fighting for injustice, fighting for justice for a black person, particularly a black male or black woman, because there were sisters who were harmed too out here. And we're stomping for justice for them. And we go to these protests and we see these weird little musty Negroes that didn't nobody know. And all of a sudden the cameras are on them and they're yelling and, yes, I'm the leader of Black Lives Matter over here in Memphis, and I say that the police, what they're doing is anti-black and anti-immigrant. Oh, whoa, whoa, what? Then they start talking about a whole bunch of other stuff, and people are looking around like, whose man is this? Who is this person? You go to a protest, everybody's talking about, well, yeah, Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Then all of a sudden, trans lives matter too. And we're like, hey, who is this person? So they've been putting these plants out here in the mix for a minute. You go to a protest and you're trying to fight for for non-justice and fight against non-justice rather, and then all of a sudden you see some musty, crooked wig tether woman twerking. They having twerk contest. It was them tethers doing all of that nonsense. If y'all remember, y'all go back and look at my timeline on Twitter. We were calling these folks out. We would go to the protest. We out here hitting the gangsters and the folks in the streets and like, hey, what we doing? Then all of a sudden, it's a, a coochie popping contest. What the hell is this? They trivialized what was happening, and these were a lot of opportunists who were trivializing what was going on for their own benefit. Yeah. Let me get some more calls in here. We got a lot of people in here so far. We're in here very heavy. Let's get Zazeo. Let's get brother Zazeo in here. Oh, where you at? Zazeo. And then El Sueño. El Sueño. Zazeo, what's up, brother? What's up, man? How you doing?
No, man, we had talked before, man. I had
Well,
told you link up with Yvette. You wasn't liking that.
no.
It's all good though. Whatever reason you got, it's probably understandable. You know, I don't know what y'all got going on, but anyway.
Nothing. Not nothing. There's nothing going on. That's the problem. Nothing is going on.
Okay.
And you're not giving a good reason why we should hook up with Yvette.
No, I'm just saying. I just thought it would be better. Just for what I'm pretty much saying overall, man. Just the whole ADOS and FBA thing. I think it's foolishness overall. That's pretty much what I'm saying, man.
There you go. So why do you think it's now ADOS is an organization, FBA is a lineage? What's foolish? I can understand why you think an organization is foolish, but why is a lineage foolish?
I get that you're trying to separate them both, and Yvette, she says it's an organization. Okay, cool, but
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're both pushing for reparations. That's the bottom line of everything. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if we both make, if Yvette does her part and you do your part, and we all push together, like that shouldn't be no issue.
Now you're contradicting yourself. You just said it was both foolish. So it's foolish, but we got to push together. Which one is it?
It's foolish because your listeners mostly and Yvette's listeners are going back and forth. Like maybe you two, Tariq and Yvette, y'all the professionals, but your listeners are the one that's online doing this FBA adult shit, and I don't like it. You know what I'm saying? But
What don't you like? I don't get what you're saying, brother. I don't get what you're saying. What don't you like?
the back and forth between FBA and adults, the
There is no
listeners are
back and
going.
forth. You're the one. Nobody's mentioned them. ADOS is a dead brand, bro. Don't nobody mention no damn ADOS.
Nah,
ADOS is
that's all I'm saying. I
dead.
really didn't want to talk about this. I just wanted to ask you a
But you
question, really.
did. Nobody's talking about. You're the only one talking about him. Nobody gives a damn about ADOS. ADOS is
I
a
just
dead.
remind you who I was the last conversation we had. I didn't want to talk about this though. I just want to ask you a question.
Okay, wow. You led with that, brother. Why did you lead with that if you didn't want to talk about it? But you're all over the place, bro.
Can I just ask you a question?
Bro,
All right.
okay.
Do you feel okay? Do you feel as though
Oh wait,
uh
let me ask you.
the
Hold on. Are you a Pan Africanist?
am I Pan Africanist? No, but I don't deny my roots in Africa. My genetics in Africa. I don't deny it though.
Right, me neither. But are you a Pan Africanist though?
No, I just
Okay.
don't deny. I don't deny that I have roots in Africa. That's it, man.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't get what your issue is. I really don't get what your issue is. You're just kind of all over the place, brother.
No, I just want to ask you a question, really.
Yeah. What's
So,
that?
so, okay. In my opinion, man, when I look at everything what's going on, man, I just honestly feel like the reparations movement is it's don't get me wrong, like we're making noise and stuff, but I just feel like it's not as strong as it needs to be. To be
The,
honest with you,
the hell it
because
ain't.
because
The hell
listen,
it's not.
just listen. When I look at the political, like what's going on politically right now, I see two movements right now. I see them Arabs with the whole Palestinian stuff, and I see just us with reparations. Those are the two movements that I see right now, and I'm just comparing both of them, and I just see the so-called Palestinians. I just see them, at least for the everyday so-called Arab or Palestinian. I just see them, moving more and shaking more. Like they not just on the internet, but they outside, protesting about it too, and they in everybody's face. I even seen them show up to Floyd Mayweather's. I think he was signing autographs and stuff. They just crashed his spot talking about some free Palestine. He ain't got nothing to do with Palestine. So I'm just saying when I look at the regular, everyday folks, Arab so-called Palestinians, I just seem like they shaking more. Like
Taking
they
what
make
more?
it
They're not really.
they they
They
just
are
making more noise.
protesting.
What I'm trying to say.
They're not really doing anything. There's a war going on over there, basically. There's a war going on. So yeah, that the war is going to be in the media. They're not really moving and shaking like you saying they are. They're not. What progress are they making? What progress are they making?
If you just look online, man, you see them all out in these college campuses. You see them all with a blowhorn gathering people all outside. They crashing events. Black Americans are not really doing that per se. But this is my questions for you. This is my question, and
We've been doing that. We ain't jumping in their mix.
I'm
We've
saying
been
this.
doing that. What you mean we
Listen,
ain't doing that? Boy, did you
no,
see?
listen what I'm saying. Listen what I'm saying.
No. What? No. Did you see the last turn up? We had a nationwide turn up in 2020 with the George Floyd turn up. The hell you talking about?
No, you're right. I'm with George Floyd. I'm talking about right now with reparations. I just feel like the everyday so-called FBA. I just feel like they need to be pushing more. Like they need to be making videos themselves and pushing the line themselves and explain to the people how they family members need the reparations and deserve reparations. Like the regular everyday working people. Because you
Okay,
know what
so
I'm saying.
what are you doing? What have you been doing then?
I got
Since
a YouTube channel. And I don't just
so
I'm not
you're on
just
the
on
internet
so-called.
like you criticizing people for not being outside, and you ain't outside.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
Oh
It's not
Lord.
even just the outside part. It's just
See,
the
you
fact
can't
that
criticize people for doing something that you ain't doing, brother.
no,
We're
I'm
not
doing it.
outside.
No,
We're
I'm doing
outside.
it.
We're going to look. We're going to meetings, reparations hearings all over the country. We're showing up physically. I
Yes,
mean, and I'm talking about physically ready to fight motherfuckers at some of these spots too. Some of the ops because they got federal agents at these commissions.
I believe
They
it.
they got ops straight up and down, and we're ready to deal with them too. We're
I
out here
believe it.
for real, and we going.
But
We were in Washington D.C. by the thousands a couple of years ago. We organized something within 2 damn weeks, and we're out there in the
okay,
thousands. We're going
all right.
back out there in June. We can't
I
get
believe.
more outside than that, brother.
No, it's not even just about the outside. That of course we need to be outside. Yes, of course. And I'm just saying, like, how can I put it? I'm trying to put my words wisely, man. Um, it's like the
All right,
internet.
think
Okay,
about it.
like
Think about
the
it.
internet.
Just sleep on it, brother. Damn. Okay. Some people just want to talk to hear themselves talk and point fingers for shit you ain't doing. You're not doing anything, brother. When we ask, okay, what are you doing? I got YouTube channel. Okay, okay, you ain't outside. Okay, brother. The reparations movement, fueled by the foundational Black American grassroots, we got this conversation in the national lexicon. This country has never talked about reparations the way it's talking about reparations now. We have never had these folks do nationwide commissions and we have to stay on their bumper all around the country. We got to go through different reparations commissions to make sure the language is okay, to make sure everything is worded correctly. We're doing this all over the country. Brother Afro Elite, Brother Black Alpha, the West Coast brothers and sisters, brothers out there in New York, brothers out there in Chicago, but all over the country, we're standing on the reparations business. We're going all over the place, making sure the conversation is going in the direction it's supposed to go in. We got a big reparations rally going up in DC. It's going to be thousands of people out there in DC. Man, we got this thing popping. We got the world, dude. We got the world talking about reparations now. You got other countries now following our lead. The hell you talking about? We got other countries saying, "Hey, they on the reparations tip. We need to be on that too." Some of the same people who would tell us that we need to stop begging the white folks, and then and you white folks ain't gonna give y'all nothing. Now that we're standing on that business, we're standing on our square. Some of these same people are like, "Well, damn, let me holler at CARICOM, let me holler at Britain, let me holler at France." They're following our lead. You understand? Globally, and we're keeping on. And this thing about the Palestinians, they're kind of going around trolling people. They're not really accomplishing anything. There's still a war going on over there. There's a war going on, and they keep trying to drag us in the mix, and we ain't getting in it. Let me get Oh Lord, all right. Let's get Let's see what T.S. Giselle has to say. T.S. Giselle. All right.
So I just
Speak.
have to make a statement.
Okay, what's your statement?
My
Speaking
mic's
of.
gonna die probably.
Okay.
Number one, Tariq, you owe me an apology. You were very nasty and mean to me.
When?
All I do is bring you clicks and views.
Now, when was I mad? When was I mean to
You
you?
were nasty to me, Tariq.
What did I say?
I I I almost had tears. I was like, you were just very nasty.
What did I say?
When we discussed, and I don't want to go off into that
We
argument,
don't.
but
But what
when
did I say? What did I say that
we
hurt
were
you?
talking about how people under my umbrella are rejected in pro-black movements. I just thought you were really mean and nasty to me. It
How?
was
What?
really
No, how?
unwarranted.
Because no, no,
I
no, no,
also
no, no,
thought
no, no,
that
no.
you
What did I say? No, no, no. You just keep saying I was mean
hold
to that.
on.
What did
I
I say?
also thought that your attacks against Morgan are could be deemed as homophobic. And
How so?
I think you're bigger than that, Tariq. I know you
How
like to
so?
joke
How?
and
No,
hold
no, no, no.
on.
How so? How
You
so?
like to joke and banter, but you can also do that without being mean spirited. So I think you've been very mean to me and Morgan. Um,
How?
but
How? 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 How?
but I didn't come up here to talk about that, Tariq. That was
No,
just the
no, no,
opening
no,
statement.
no, 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 no. You can't make an accusation like that, and you will not say how I was being mean spirited to you. That's not true. We check you because you come in these spaces. You come in here cursing out the girls and talking trash about random women in here all the time. You're very mean spirit. You're mean spirited. You come in here and talk about women that don't even be doing anything. You be clowning these women and talking trash about them. You are very mean spirited. And then when we check you, you try to cry foul.
I don't
What did
think
I
that's
say that?
correct.
What? No,
I
no, no.
don't
What
think
did I
that's
say that was
correct,
mean
Tariq.
spirited?
It's so this is what you guys don't allow me to do. I am Black American. In our culture, we Jones, we joke, we
Yes, we
shoot.
do.
What is it? Shoot the ones. What is it? Whatever you guys say. You guys don't. I do that, but when I do that, it's me. So if I tell a girl that I'm first class and she's coach, that's just a joke. It's
Right.
banter.
And when I
But
talk about
but when I say
no, no,
that,
when I talk about your big back, that's not phobic nothing.
Well,
There's a
my
lot of
back is
people with
not
big.
big,
Yeah, it is. When I talk about how
and it
big your
never
back
gave
is,
Patty LaBelle,
if when yes, I said you look like a cross between Patti LaBelle and
and
Carl
it never
Winslow.
gave that, and it never gave that because
Yes, but that's
I
not
could
phobic.
easily,
That's not phobic. You do look like a cross between Patti LaBelle and Carl Winslow. That's not phobic.
and I could easily say you're very much giving $5 Montel Jordan. Okay,
That's
you're
okay.
not the only one that can throw a joke, Tariq.
That's okay.
Anyway, that's not why I came up
I can
here.
say that you look like a manatee from Forever 21. And we can just go back and forth forever. And it's not phobic. It's not phobic, nor is it mean spirited. But go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead, TS Giselle.
And I could easily say that your quote unquote FBA hairline is funded by Beijing dye. So is
Yes,
that what you okay?
yes, indeed. Yes,
One thing about the girls is we're the best readers,
yes,
okay? The
yes,
very best.
yes, indeed. And I can
Exactly.
and I can say that Lane Bryant furnishes your waist trainers. So we can just do this
First
all
of all, I am 5'6", 165 pounds. It never gave Lane Bryant.
day.
Never.
Now,
Never. Anyway, I'm trying to be serious. I
yeah,
just
go
wanted you
ahead.
to apologize because I did think you were mean to me, but whatever.
Mhm.
Um, so Tariq, and when we spoke, you spoke about. I'm trying to get this out because I don't want my microphone to die. We spoke about reparations being on the national lexicon,
Yes.
and I refute that. So CNN did a poll which has sent Democrats in a frenzy where Donald Trump, despite literally being in a courtroom as we speak, he has a lead over Joe Biden.
Yes.
I'm not gonna dig into that piece of it because I just don't want to upset some of my Democratic friends and
But
my opinions.
you're telling the
But
truth. You're telling the truth.
gosh, Lord, oh my God, I can't get a word in edgewise.
I'm
Anyway,
just
so
agreeing with you. Yeah, I'm saying you're
within that, can I make my point?
Lord, go ahead.
So within that poll, it was a list of issues that are concerning for American voters. Now, this does not reference the race of the voters. I have to research it, but I put in the jumbotron, and it breaks down what are for registered voters, keyword registered, because we know like these black Republicans love to go to the hood and and make a meme or viral moment out of people saying they're going to vote for Trump, and we know these people aren't even registered to vote. In this poll of registered voters, it breaks down key issues for registered voters. Noticeably absent is reparations. And you just spoke about the Hamas and Israeli conflict that comes in at 26%. Of
Hmm.
course, the economy, our money is the highest, 65%. Immigration, 48%. Something that's true to me as a Black American is crime and gun policy, which those two issues devastate our communities, 48%. Student loan debt, a big issue, 24%. Reparations didn't make this list. And so,
Okay, let me explain why. Because what they're trying to do, they're trying to tell us what the issue should be. So some of these Democrat run polls, they try to play this little Jedi mind trick where they ignore what we really want. And this is what they're going to try to do now. And this is why we're stomping out here in the streets saying, no, you're going to address what we want, which are tangibles. You're not going to ignore what we're trying to get. Now, let me address this some more. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you back to Big Bakistan. Um, those CNN polls and all of these other polls, they try to do that little Jedi mind trick. The Griot, did y'all see the article they put out? Let me read what the Griot put out because this ties into that. And the Griot, that's owned by Byron Allen. And remember, Yvette and those guys were trying to get us to stomp for Byron Allen. Yeah, this is why when this guy calls up talking about we need to get with Yvette, the help for what? They're Democratic damn shills. No, they don't. No, 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 no. They're talking about uh, rocking with the Democrats that vote blue no matter who. No, 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 no. So the Griot, look, the Griot just put out an article this week, and the headline, and I want y'all to look this up. It says, "Beware of stories spreading misinformation about black men being fed up with Joe Biden and the Democrats." It says black voter frustration is real, but we cannot let that be an excuse to let misinformation seep into the ecosystem. All right, so this is the Jedi mind trick. All right, let me go down. Da, 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 da. As I wrote in August, it's clear that voters of color, particularly black men, are the number one targets for misinformation, disinformation, and voter suppression. This is cap, y'all. They're trying to say that us questioning why the Democrats ain't doing a damn thing for us, that's some kind of misinformation. That's not misinformation. These are facts. Now, let me read the article. It says, before we go any further, let me make it absolutely clear. I don't pretend to speak for all black men, much less the entire black community. Um, but yes, thanks to President Biden, the Inflation Reduction Act. No, hold, let me go back. Furthermore, anyone who spends a little time in the barbershop will tell you that there's some real frustration out there and even more confusion. That's another thing, too. This whole thing where these Democrat ops are pretending that all these little barbershop meetings, black men are huddled in barbershops. Okay, stop. So it goes on to say, yes, thanks to Joe Biden, the Inflation Reduction Act, prices are starting to go down. But let's be honest, all you need to do is go to the grocery store and you'll see the affordability crisis. Prices are still high and people are struggling. That's why President Biden Build Back Better plan and the John Lewis Voting Act is doing things for black people. Man, oh goodness. When they start, this is coming from the DNC. They tell them, the DNC tells their Negro operatives to go out here and start talking about all the great things Biden is doing. This is coming from the white people at the DNC. The Build Back Better plan is a all lives matter nothing burger. The John Lewis Voting Act is for the damn immigrants. That's who that's for. Don't be fooled when they put a black name on something. Don't be fooled by that. Just because they got a black person's name on it, don't mean it's for black people. That John Lewis Voting Act is for these immigrants coming over. It's creating a path so that they can get IDs, so they can go out here and vote and undermine us. Hold on. Some folks, I'm gonna read more. Some folks are frustrated and some are angry, some are confused, some are just not feeling the election at all. I get that, but we can't let that be an excuse for this type of misinformation to seep into the ecosystem. Um, For example, the article argues that black men are frustrated with President Biden and the Democrats because they failed to deliver on things like student loan debt relief, police reform, and voting rights. We don't give a damn about no student loan debt relief. We're talking about getting us some tangibles. That student loan debt relief, that's an all lives matter lift all policy. That's a lift all policy. See, this is them trying to tell us what the agenda is. They're trying to run a Jedi mind trick. They're trying to pretend that there's these mythological black men in mythological barbershops talking about, man, we got you to get some student loan debt relief. Man, jive turkey, what is they gonna do about this student debt? Literally nobody in a barbershop is talking about no damn student debt loan relief, none of that. This is a Jedi mind trick. Also, let me read the rest of it. It says, what about police reform? Biden has delivered on that too. Let's start with that fact. In October, Biden announced that he was pardoning all federal offenses for simple marijuana possession and calling on governors in every state to do the same. And he started the process for broader decriminalization and rescheduling of marijuana under federal law. Stop it. Stop it. I don't want to have to sell weed in order to get a benefit. And that's just on a federal level, not even on a local level. And that's for the white drug dealers. That's going to benefit them the most. So again, they're out here putting these Jedi mind trick articles out here. Here's another one. They said, how about when President Biden banned chokeholds and no-knock warrants from federal law enforcement? Okay, well, what about damn Breonna Taylor? They didn't punish them. They're not going to sit here and see the Democrats are coming out here trying to lie in our faces and act like they're doing stuff, and they're not. They can put these bills up here, but they don't enforce them. Breonna Taylor, they had a no-knock warrant and went in there and killed that sister, and they didn't punish them cops who did that. Yeah. Oh goodness. Oh God. And this one right here, this one sent me. So Biden banned the chokeholds and no-knock warrants and from federal law enforcement, and they're still choking brothers out, by the way. That's another thing too. And here's another thing they said that Biden is doing. We got to thank Biden for. What about Biden signing the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act to make lynching a federal crime for the first time in history, or creating a national database to track law enforcement misconduct? Okay. Number one, they're not doing a damn thing about law enforcement misconduct. They're white supremacists in law enforcement. They're not doing a damn thing about. Also, that damn Emmett Till lynching act is a nothing burger because they sat up here and let Carolyn Bryant, the woman who got Emmett Till lynched, they sat there and let this woman live to her old age. She just died, what, a few months ago? The Biden administration and the Democrats didn't do a thing to that woman. They sat up here and let that woman grow old and decrepit, and they sat there protecting that woman. I don't want to hear about that Emmett Till lynching act, and you don't even punish the person who's still alive who caused the lynching. Y'all sat there protecting that woman. So that shows how effective that law is. It's a nothing burger. And I don't want to hear this stuff about, oh, it was so long ago, because our good brother Bill Cosby, they're still digging out decrepit white women from the 50s and 60s coming out making false accusations about that brother. He got cases all over the place that he's still fighting because they're letting these people come out here from the 50s and 60s to say he did something, and they're lying. Yeah? So again, a bunch of Democratic nothing burgers. And this is their strategy, to come out here and pee on you and tell you it's raining. To sit up here and say that, oh, Biden is doing a whole bunch of stuff. Oh, Biden is doing this and Biden, no, he's not. Biden is undermining black society by having all of these immigrant groups flood these black neighborhoods, and black people are complaining about it all over the country. So we got to be very real about this stuff.
It's the 50th anniversary of hip-hop, and we still have a lot of discrepancies as far as the origins of hip-hop, a lot of claims, who did what, who was the first this, who was the this and that, and such. But at the end of the day, we need a definitive story, all right? And that story can only be told by the founders of this culture.
Like, everything was being driven and influenced by young, black, American culture. Like the slang, the style of dress, the initial music that we chose.
You look at all the boroughs, you got, money making Manhattan and money earning Mount Vernon and Crooklyn. The Bronx was the boogie down Bronx. We was partying up there.
I am Coke LaRock, the first MC of hip hop. First cat to pick the mic up.
I introduced rapping to the turntable because when I came with it, nobody in the world was doing it. I'm right after Rudy Ray Moore.
They want to come in the mix. They want to say, we started. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. What came to be known as hip hop was solely an African-American creation.
What would you get out of some Jamaican toast? What is that? I've never heard of a rapper use a Jamaican toast or a Jamaican fleur as a rhyme. I never heard of it, and I don't know where that myth came from.
My name is legendary King Trixie from the Bronx, BX from the West Side. I am the first breakdancer.
That narrative that hip-hop has had 3 founding fathers, that's been rolling for the last almost 30 years, which isn't true. You don't have just 3 people who created hip-hop. Hip-hop was created by a number of different people.
I am the grandfather, the godfather of the graffiti culture. I am the first element of hip-hop.
The roots of hip-hop being Jamaican, absolutely false.
My name is MC Sha-Rock. I am a founding member of the MC/rap culture.
Cassette tapes was the internet of our time. It just traveled around by hand.
Well, I know for a fact that the B-Boy stand started from the guards, the 5%ers that would be at the jams back in the days who were acting as security.
If they get the real truth of how it all was created, then so many lies would not be able to be in existence.